We're going to start on Ein Chesem and Beis. Ein Chesem Beis. We did it yesterday. We're just going to start again. Reb Chanina. Okay, we start from there. No, well, we do the Gemara and then do the Ran. Take 2 seconds to do the Gemara. Ein Chesem and Beis, 78b. That's 6 lines down from the top. Reb Chanina. Okay, Reb Chanina. Hashosek almanas lemekat. Mefer afilu mekan yud yomim. Person, the halacha is that the husband has to nullify the neder the day he hears it. What about he hears it, and he has in mind that in his mind he's going to nullify it in 10 days. He doesn't nullify it on the day that he hears it, but he doesn't share this with his wife. But factually, he didn't nullify it immediately. Reb Chanina says it's valid. It's still, he's meeting the criteria Yom Shomo, because since on the day that he heard it, he had in mind ultimately to nullify it, it's considered nullified when he nullifies it. Moshe Barova. So he asked a question from a Mishnah. We had a Mishnah previously. Moshe Oru Mesa Bal Nisrokno Rishus Lav. Now, if you have a person who is Makara Shanisha, and the girl is she's between 12 and 12 and a half, right? And she makes a netter. So there's a partnership. The husband and the father jointly, they nullify the netter, right, of the wife and the daughter. Say Moshe Omeru Mesa Bal Nisrokna Rishus Lav. When do we say if the husband should die, that the ability to nullify the netter reverts back to the father? There's Machel Shom Abal. Let's say the husband never heard it. Never heard it. He died, never heard it. So now she reverts fully back into his domain. He nullifies it. Oshishoma v'shosak, he heard it and he remained silent. Oshishoma v'hefer, or he nullified it. Umes bo biyom, and he died on the day that he heard it. So if that's the case, it was never confirmed because it's only considered kiyum if he remained silent till the end of the day. But since he died before the end of the day, it reverts back to the father nullifies it. Avo shoma v'kiyim. What about the husband heard it and he confirmed it? Oshishoma v'shosak, he heard it, remained silent. Umes biyom shel achrov, he died the next day. So we're saying now, if you remain silent, then it does not revert back to the father. It's already etched in stone. In Yochel Hofer, my love, it seems to be remain silent. Day passed. In every situation, remain silent. Af almanas lemekat, my love shows even though he had in mind when he remained silent, ultimately to nullify it. He's only giving his wife the business that she should think that the netter is in effect. Lo, Mor says no. When it says she remained silent, he remained silent when the end of the day that he wanted to be confirmed. So Mor says, but it already says Shama V'kim. He heard it and he confirmed it. Elos. So he says, what are we speaking about? Elo b'shosik stam. He didn't have anything specific in mind. Didn't have anything specific in mind. But if he would have something specific in mind, according to Reb Chanina, although he wasn't Mefer on that day, he could be Mefer even 10 days later. Okay? Moshe Rav Chisda. Rav Chisda asks, it says in the Mishnah, Choma behekim behefer. There's a stringency with somebody establishing that more than somebody nullifies the neder. Ubehefer behekim. And if somebody nullifies it versus somebody who establishes it. It goes to explain. Choma behekim. What is the stringency, the chumrah of hekim when the husband established it? Shashtika mekayemis. If you remain silent till the end of the day, that's called kiyum. You've established it to be a neder. Vein ashtika mevatelis. But let's say a person remains silent and doesn't express anything to indicate that he wants to nullify it. Right? It's nothing. There he has to verbalize it. We had earlier, when Ron speaks. He says, pli vachol. Right? Yesterday we spoke about. He says, take and eat, take and drink. Right? So there, and he had in his mind, he wants to nullify it. So since he expressed it by saying take and eat and take and drink, what he had in mind is a valid nullification. But let's say he just has in mind, he doesn't verbalize anything, then it's nothing. We don't reckon with that. What about kiyum belibo? In his mind, which is partial, because let's say he remains silent to the end of the day. Right? Kayim. Hefer belibo ain't a mover. But let's say he has in mind it should be nullified. It's not a valid nullification. Kiyum, what about if he established it? In Yochel Hofer. Let's say the husband verbally says, I want the neder to be a neder. Now he wants to nullify it. Can't. Once the neder, he's already given up his right to nullify it. Hafer, what about he nullified it? Ein yochel l'kayim. He can't. Once he's made for it, he can't. There's no neder anymore. Ktani, but what does it say in the Mishnah we're quoting? Shashtika mekayemis. That silence establishes the neder to be a neder. My love, it seems to be what kind of silence? B'shosek amnas l'mekat. Even the situation where he remains silent, where he's only giving his wife the business that she should believe it's a neder, although he has in mind ultimately to nullify the neder. Now says no, b'shosek almanas l'kayim. He has in mind what to establish it. Tomorrow says hainu kim belibo. We already said that's the case of what kim belibo kayim. Ela b'shosek stam, like we said earlier. He remained silent. He didn't make any decision in his mind what he wants. But if he has in mind specifically that he wants to ultimately nullify it, then it's nullified. Ashkechon. Ashkechon mebehekim mebehefer. So we find the case, hekim is what? Astringency is more than hefer. Because with hekim we say could be in remaining silent, but hefer you have to verbalize it. Behefer mebehekim no. How do we know hafora? There's a stringency of hafora over hakama. Omar Reb, I don't know what this is. Omar Reb Yehuda or Omar Reb Yochanan. Nishalam ala hekim, nishalam ala hefer. What is the chumrah? That you could, let's say a person's makam neder, then he goes before a panel and he wants to nullify his solidifying the neder. As long as it's on the day, he could do it. Here? On that day. He says, I want it to be established. Then he goes before a chochem and says, I regret if I would have known, I would have done it. The halacha is he could undo. What about if once he's made for it? Once it's made for it, the net is gone. You can't retract that any longer. Hakoma you could retract. Hafara you cannot retract. Okay? So right now we've answered all the difficulties with remaining silent, having in mind to nullify it. You're able to do it. Now the Gemara is going to refute this. The Gemara is going to come out in Maskana that if you remain silent, regardless what you have in mind, it's nothing. Okay? Moser Rav Kana says in the Torah regarding Hakama, it says, "Im hachresh yachrish lo isha." If the husband remains silent, isha means our husband. B'shosek, now so there's a Bryce, we're quoting Rav Kana. B'shosek amnas meikar kosim medab. We have a question. Is it speaking about hachresh means even if he has in mind to nullify it and only he wants her to believe that it's a neder? Is that what it's speaking about? Ata ome b'shosek amnas meikar o eino elo b'shosek amnas l'kayim. Even only if he has shosik that he wants there to be a neder. Kshu omer ki hachrish lo, it says, because he became silent, harib shosik amanas l'kayim. Akos medaber. When it says ki hechrish lo, that's where he remained silent. We want the neder to be a neder. Hamani mekayim im hachrish yachrish lo, isha. V'shosik amanas l'mekat. So evidently, hakos medaber. It's speaking where he had in mind, even where he has in mind ultimately to nullify it, he only wants her to believe that he's Makayim. Factually, it's stuck. The neder is established. So Tiyufta, so Reb Chanina is refuted, right? So Mor says, why? Lukim ha b'shosik hamnas l'kayim ha b'shosik stam, like we said before. Remember, we said the three categories. There's, you remain silent, you want it to be a neder. You remain silent, it's open-ended, you really haven't decided. And you remain silent where ultimately you want to nullify it. So let's say one pasuk speaking, we had in mind to establish it. The other pasuk speaking where he didn't make up his mind. But ain't ochanami. But if a person is almanas l'meikar, he has in mind ultimately to nullify it. Maybe the neder is not a neder. Smar says, "Kroy yiseriksiv." We have other psukim. We have other psukim regarding remaining silent, which even covers that case. So as a result of that, Reb Chanina is nullified, is refuted. He's refuted. Masav Rava asks another question, which is a tiyufta. The first one was Masav Rav Kana. Masav Rava, it said, we learned before in the Mishnah, it says, Nodr im chashecha. It says if she makes an neder right before the sundown, right? Meifel lo. Meifel achelo chashecha. As long as the husband gets it in right before sundown, he could be mefer, he can nullify the neder. Shim lo hefir, because if he did not, v'choshcha, any yochel ofir. It says in the Mishnah. But let's say she made the neder, he didn't have the chance to knock it out, to say it's mufer, the neder's effect. Mar says, Amai, levi kashosik halman l'mekem. Right? Why? Even if he didn't verbalize it, he could say he remained silent, but he has in mind, ultimately, to knock it out tomorrow. or 10 days from now, according to Rabbi Chanina. So why does it say, if he doesn't say the word mufar, before sundown, then that is a neder, according to Rabbi Chanina. As long as he has in mind ultimately to knock it out, it doesn't take effect. Tiyufta. So Rabbi Chanina is refuted. Okay, so we have two refutations. Most of Rav Ashi. The first one was Rav Kana, the second one was Rav Ashi, the second one was Rava. Most of Rav Ashi. Rav Ashi now refutes it. This is very interesting. The Torah says, it says, B'yom Shomo. If the husband hears the neder, and he doesn't, he waits till nightfall, the neder takes on, it becomes effective. Okay? What about if the husband never knew he had a right to nullify a neder? He never heard that there's such a thing that a husband can nullify a neder. He heard it before sundown, but he never knew that he could actually knock it out. Is that called Yom Shomo? So we'll see, everybody agrees. If he wasn't aware that he has the ability to nullify it, we extend it. It's only once he's aware that he could nullify it, he chooses not to use that mechanism, that's when the neder takes on. But if he never knew, and he finds out later, whenever he finds out that he has that ability, that's when the clock starts ticking, from that moment on. No, it's only, we rule till sundown. He finds out 6 years later. She made a neder. He never knew he had the ability to nullify the neder. The moment he finds out 12 o'clock noon. He has 12 o'clock noon till nightfall. That's it. Okay? Yodea Nishiyesh Nedarim. The person says, look, the husband knows there's such a thing as Nedarim. She made a neder. Aval Eni Yodea Sheish Mefirin. The husband never knew that he has the ability to mefer the neder. Like today, most people. The husband knows that he has the ability to mefer a neder of a wife. Right? Yofer. Everybody agrees he can nullify it. Yom Shoma means only when he knows he has the ability to nullify it. What about Yodea Sheish Mefirin? What about the husband knows he has the ability to nullify, but he didn't realize that what his wife said was a neder? Yet, it's a whole different story. He knows there's such a thing as Nedarim. He knows that he has the ability to nullify it. But when he heard his wife made the statement, he didn't realize that she made a neder. Right? What's the story in that case? Aval Eni Yodea is a neder. Yeah, he knows the Nedarim, he knows that he has the ability to nullify, but he didn't know Shezen netted. What she said now is a netter. Remeir Omer lo yofer. Remeir says no, it doesn't make a difference. He cannot. Chachomim Omrim yofer. Not knowing it's a netter, that's like what? Not having the ability to what? Vamai, the question is, Levi Keshosik Amnas Lemekat. Right? We'll see the run. Let it be no different Shosik Amnas. Why does he forfeit? We'll say, but if he knows that he has the ability to be a mefer, and he knows it's a netter, we say it's gone. Why is it gone? The Ran points out. According to the Chachamim, if he has in mind, ultimately he's going to knock it out, it should be considered, the netter should not take on any effect. So we say, no, that mefer, shosik amnas l'meikat is a netter. Okay, let's see the Ran. We have quite a bit of Ran to learn, but it goes quick. Okay, I mean, as I went through it, I spoke out quite a bit of Ran. Okay, let's see over here. Not much Ran. It's not much Ran. It's about 6 lines from the bottom. He wants to give his wife the business, right? Make her, to pain her a little bit. He wants her to believe that he has in mind that a netter should be a netter. But that's really not his true intent. Ultimately, he's going to knock it out later. He's going to nullify it later. My love, it says if he remains silent and dies the next day, the father cannot do it. The Kavan, the Posuk, Tony Shoma, it seems to be. In any case, if he remains silent, he dies the next day, the father can't do it. And see, even when you remain silent, we have in mind in the future to knock it out. That's considered a kiyum. Versus lo shosik, lo b'shosik l'kayim. He had in mind that he wanted to establish the husband. The husband who died the next day, he remained silent day one. He had in mind when he remained silent that the net should be a netter. Then he died the next day. Lo dome ha-shoysagam nas-l'kayim, dome ha-ochel, lo-shoysagam nas-l'kayim, damrin l'kamon. He kalos ashchem shas tuv, okay. Elam Shosik Stamson. Where it says, you know what it's speaking about? Where the father can't do it where he dies the next day. Shlogoma believe b'shem kuyim. He didn't make up his mind. If he remained silent, that he's definitely nullified in 10 days from now. That silence means nothing. But he was open-minded. Shem kuyim ma'atav l'shos gamkin am nas l'meket el shosik stam shashtiko mekayemis. The Gemara says there's a stringency of remaining silent over for kiyum and nullification. Shtika mekayemis kol shosik kol yom hashmiyah. If you remain silent that day, then the netter takes on the force of a netter. Kiyum belibo kiyum sheinu tzorch lotzim sosav. You don't have to verbalize it, right? That's biyom shamo. What about hefer belibo in a mufar? Achiyotzim sosav. You have to verbalize it. You have to verbalize your disapproval of the netter. The husband has to verbalize it. Nir beina the alfina law mishtiko diyom shamo. What do we learn that from? Because it says if you remain silent on the day you heard it, the netter takes on the value of a netter. She mekayemis, the time of mine, Mishum the came shov yom shmiya v'lo hefer. Since the day passed and he didn't nullify it, Gole adate shel rotze b'kiyumo shel netter. He wants the netter to be in effect. Al makol shebelibo l'kayim osagi el deyov le'rachmona kol ha'u yom la'fora. The Torah says you have till nightfall to nullify the netter. Mishum dad arvo shim shelu mukamidi she rotze l'kayim. Because until nightfall, it's not obvious that he wants the netter to be in effect. If a husband has the right to nullify, and he chooses not to nullify by the end of the day, what is that saying? That means he approves of the netter. The dilma bossa ochi meifalo, kevon the bossa daite b'luchud azlinon, umino the kol shekim b'libo kayim, lalter, David kilo over yom shmiyah. So therefore, if he has in mind, that's enough. B'chi amin in hoch hefer b'libo in mufer dafka de l'omer law at this what he said earlier, kli v'achli. If he would say, take and eat, take and drink, and in his mind, he thinks in his heart, I want the netter to be mufer, once he establishes he can nullify it, hofer and yochel l'kayim, l'hamilso, chamir hakom ha'aforav, l'haforim ha'akom, l'lavi shemchom, okay. My lavi shoskam neka, v'afil hochi, l'kayim. Further, now down. Shu'omer ki hachri shlo, go down over here. Shu'omer ki hachri shlo, harib shoskam amnas l'kayim. Amnas l'kayim la'achaz man, shedaitu shiskayim, she'avri yom shmiyah. Daishi b'kuyim b'shtikos, lo domi shoskam amnas l'kayim. Kra yisir ksivi. Okay, Mosav Rova. Okay, now we're talking about refuting it. Mosav Rova, nodro im chashecho. Avagav ditos. Now the question is, what do we have? We refute it. What do we have? We have to refute it 3 times. Rav Kahana is refuting it. Ravashi's refuting it. And what's his name? Rav is refuting Ravav. What do we need 3 people to refute him? One's enough, he says. Avagav ditos of chadazimna mosfina losu. Nafkamina, what's the reason? We find this out. Din mashkechina piruka bahida le'el. Akati havya haitiyufte. Even if we're able to answer one of the refutations, we got another 2 coming down the pike. And even if you answer 2, we got the 3rd. That's the reason why we continuously bring various sources to refute that position. Okay. Okay. Let's skip all the way down to the bottom. If a person says, I know I have the ability to make her, but I wasn't aware my wife's netter was a netter, Rameir says, Lo yofer. Acha yom shmiyah, the came to shiudeu shabal meifir, mikra yom shmiyah. That's called yom shmiyah. Even though he wasn't aware that what his wife actually said was a netter, but he's aware that he has the ability to nullify it, he's already lost the opportunity. Chachomim omri yofer. The came shlo yodah for lo yodah for us neder lo mikra yom shmiyah. Since he didn't realize what she said was a netter, not being able to apply the mechanism of nullification means it's like he didn't hear a netter. Why do you remain silent? He didn't remain silent because he wants the netter to be a netter, because he didn't realize it was a netter. What did Rabbanan argue? What's the argument of the Chachamim? A husband's not aware the netter was a netter. Rameir says it doesn't make a difference. He's lost the opportunity. Chachamim say no. Not being aware, that's Yom Shamo. But we're asking, even if it would be Yom Shamo, but since factually he doesn't want it to be a netter, right? It's like Amnas L'Mekat. So evidently, see from here, no, that even if you don't do it on that day, regardless what your intent is, the neder takes effect by the end of the day. Okay? Okay. Now, if you remember before, the Ran cited a Rambam, which he said he disagrees with. A father could nullify a daughter's Nedarim, and a husband could nullify a daughter's Nedarim. Okay? Now, a husband could only nullify, we'll see in the Mishnah, Nedarim, which are Inui Nefesh, something she's painting herself, or Bein Leveno, it affects their relationship. It's limited to that. If a woman says, I will not go in somebody's house, the husband can't nullify that. What about a father? Do we make this differentiation? So the Ran said, the Gemara before it says, the father or the husband. So we equate the father to the husband. So the Ran says, all the Rishonim hold that whatever Nedarim the husband could be mefer, the father could mefer only those Nedarim. You hear this? The father doesn't have any greater leeway than the husband. The Rambam differentiates. The Rambam says a father can nullify any neder he chooses. Whatever neder the daughter makes, he can nullify it. The husband is limited to nidri inu nefesh, something that affects her, which she's painting herself, she's afflicting herself, or it interferes with their relationship. So all that we make this differentiation, only the husband, not the father. The Ran has difficulty because it seems the Gemara has a hekesh. We equate the father to the husband, and just as the husband's limited in this area, the father has the same limitations. Rambam differentiates. Okay, let's see. Of course, we'll see the Ran is the Shitas of Ran right at the beginning of this paragraph. These are the Dorim that he can nullify. So if you take a look at the Ran right at the beginning, Shabal Meifir v'cheina Av Meifir Labito. You see this? That's the Ran L'Shitoso. The Ran says the father could be Meifir, the husband could be Meifir, and the father, because the Ran does not differentiate between the father and the husband. You got it? Okay. El Navshu Meifir Dvarim sheyesh ben inu nefesh. Things which actually she's afflicted. Let's say a woman says, I will not eat fruit. I will not eat fruit. All fruit of the world is off limits to me. That's already, you're afflicting yourself. So there, the husband can be mefer, the father can be mefer. Im erchatz, im lo erchatz. A woman says, I will, if I should wash, I will not eat fruit. If I don't wash, I will eat fruit. Whatever it is. Im eskashi, lo eskashi. She's not going to wear cosmetics. Okay? So we're talking about, she's not going to be attractive. That's inu nefesh. Okay? Omer Rabbi Yossi, ein elu nidrin inu nefesh. He says, no. Washing, and that's not inu nefesh. A woman, even if she doesn't put on cosmetics, it's not affliction. But ve'elu hein idrin nefesh. What is inu nefesh? Inu nefesh is, Omer konim peiros ha'olam olai. I will not eat fruits. I will not eat grain. So that's inu nefesh. You're afflicting yourself. You're denying yourself something which is basically everybody wants or needs. Harei ze yochel hafir. The husband and the father can nullify this. Whatever he says, Paris Medina Zoo, Olai, she says, the fruits, domestic grain is off limits to me. The husband cannot nullify that. Why? You could import it. You have imported grain. You don't only have domestic grain, you have imported grain or imported fruit. Okay? Paris Chenvoni Ze Olai. Verse says, she says the fruit of this supermarket, of this makolet, right, is off limits to me. Why? Because she's able to purchase from another store. What about what about the person? The husband only has credit as one supermarket. The other stores, he doesn't have credit. So if that's the case, if he doesn't have credit, that means his wife is going to be denied food. Of course, she can't shop at any other supermarket other than the supermarket she's not going to benefit from. So therefore, as a result of the circumstance, she's creating inu nefesh. She's afflicting herself. The husband has the ability to nullify it. Because the circumstance causes, it's considered affliction. Okay? Let's see the Ran. Ran goes quick. When we say, even though the Mishnah right now speaks about something that afflicts her, what about something that interferes with their relationship? Okay? El de nokat hochi lefi Shu mefer osan legamri bein latz bein lachim. The Gemara is going to make a differentiation. What happens? Interesting. Let's say something only has relevance in themselves. Let's say it's bein levein no beef. Let's say she says somebody regarding somebody else, not regarding the husband. So if that's the case, it doesn't affect the husband. No. If it's affliction, so regarding anybody, the netter is a no. We'll see the Gemara. Okay. We speak kishut haponim. We speak about cosmetics, external beautification. Go kol pikus, putting on rouge, or making a hair a certain way, right? Coiffing herself. You hear this? A woman who doesn't go with cosmetics, that's inu nefesh. She's afflicted. Okay? Aval kishut shel mato. What about a woman? She's in private areas. She does certain things. Okay? I feel Ramodud or Rabbi Yosef they elu inu nefesh. That's not inu nefesh. Elit varn shebein. It has to do with that's personal between the husband and wife, right? Not being presentable to the public, right? The Chacham hold that's inu nefesh. Vochen amuka b'gemara divkishu raponim amrinon. When it says in the Mishnah eskashet, if I will put on cosmetics, kavos ktonish lo eskashet b'neft lichluchu. Okay. Who holds that it's bein Rabbi Yossi? The question is, how do we classify it? If you could classify it as an affliction, that's the Chachomim. He says no. A woman who doesn't put on cosmetics, it only affects the relationship with the husband. The world is irrelevant. Now the Gemara says over there, in the olden days, women, they would remove the hair in the private place. That's what they would do because it would interfere with the relationship, with the sexual act. So therefore, it only has relevance to the two of them. So therefore, there's no question that he nullifies that. That's basically no, but it's not nidri inu nefesh. On Rabbi Yossi, ein elu nidri nefesh. More Rabbi Yossi, neither in nefesh would lo haviyon al dvorsh ben al venyahavyon. Okay, what are nidri inu nefesh? Yovi lo medinas acheres the kevon the muteres lechum peres medina acheres. Since she's permitted to eat imported fruits, she's not afflicted, so she won't eat domestic grain or domestic fruits. What about if the husband only has credit at one store, at one grocery store? There's no other storekeeper that's going to give him credit. The times he doesn't have cash to pay. Since she made a netter, she's not going to benefit from the produce of a certain store. Therefore, he has a right to nullify it. What if she says, I will not benefit from the produce of this community? Because what about if you don't have fruits available from anywhere else? She says, from this community, I will not benefit, right? And you don't have produce available from elsewhere. So factually, what's factually? Factually, she's being denied. She's being deprived. Okay, let's see the Gemara. Nidri inu nefesh hu demefer. It says in the Mishnah. The Gemara asks a question. It says in the Mishnah, a father and a husband can nullify the nedarim which afflict her. So Gemara asks a question. Nidri nefesh hu demefer she'en behen inu nefesh enu mefer. You mean, but nedarim which don't afflict her, the husband and father don't have the right to nullify. Votanya, with her in the Brisa, bein ish li ishto. It says the netter between a husband and wife, bein over the bito, malamed shabal mefer nedarim shebeinu levino. He could nullify the husband things which interfere with their relationship. So if that's the case, so why does the Mishnah say the husband can only nullify nedarim of inu nefesh? Amri halein v'alein mefer. No, husband could nullify both. So what miu inu nefesh mefer la'olam. Once he nullifies it, he knocks it out totally. Something that afflicts her, she says, I will not have benefit from grain. The husband nullifies it, it's knocked out. What about now he divorces her? Does the netter come back? Right? See, that has nothing to do with his relationship. Avol ein b'minu nefesh. What about it's nothing? It's just relevance only to his personal relationship. See, if it has relevance, though, she's being afflicted, regardless where she's married or unmarried, then the hafara nullifies the netter. What about it's something which interferes with their relationship? So to what degree is the netter nullified? Only if it interferes with their relationship. Once he divorces her, then the netter is back into effect. Okay? When they're living together, she's married to him, she's under his jurisdiction, then that's when the netter takes effect. You can ask a question. No, that's the answer. If a woman says, I will not eat grain, so what is the basis for a nullifying? Of course, she's being denied. Whether she's married to him or not, she's being denied. Let's say she says, I will not remove certain hair off the body which interferes with the relationship. Or she will not bathe. And he can't live with her. Right? So to what degree does that affect their relationship? Only if the husband and wife. Once he divorces, it's irrelevant whether she does or doesn't. So the netter, not being netter, only has relevance if they're together. It's not her per se. If she's denying herself, she's afflicting herself by denying herself food. Whether she's in a married state or unmarried state, she's afflicted. So when he nullifies it, it's a permanent nullification. No, but she herself, let's say now she wants to remove the hair in the pubic area. She's not permitted. She's not permitted now. When they were married, she was permitted. Once she gets divorced, let's say he remarries her now. Let's say he remarries her now. That netter is back in place. Right. She has to go to a chacham to matter netter now. That's what Ron says. Let's say now he would remarry her. Or anything that had to do with Bein Leveino, those in the Dharma restored. No. It's not even nefesh. It's Bein Leveino, we're saying now. Right? It's always Bein Leveino. Having relations with a man, that has to do with your husband, has nothing with anybody else. Okay? I'm going to ask a question, but it's not a question. We had earlier that if a person, let's say, makes a netter, he sees people in an orchard, and he says, all the people who are in the orchard cannot benefit from my fruit. Then he realizes 2 of the 100 were his father and his brother. Okay? So originally, so you go to a chacham matir, so we say that to 98 of them, it's off limits. To 2, to the father, it's nullified. Rabbi Kiva says no. Once you nullify it, it's all gone. The netter doesn't exist anymore. So over here, we're saying he nullifies it when he's married to her. When he divorces her, it's restored. But it was nullified. What's going on? How do you differentiate? You have the question. But it's not comparable. Normally, when you go before a panel and you nullify it, how does it work? It's from its inception. It's from its inception. Hafara means you cut it going forward. So therefore, to what degree do you cut off? Here you're cutting. You're not undoing it from its inception. When you talk about its inception, if it doesn't start as it was meant to start, it doesn't begin, period. The whole netter just falls apart. Here, we're going forward. So to what degree do we go forward? What relates to you as a husband. What doesn't relate to you as a husband, that's in place. Therefore, that remains. So that's the difference between haTorah and hafara. That's what you have to say. Okay, good. Excuse me. So Mara asks, you mean to say, we want to make a differentiation, that if it's something which only pertains to their relationship, once he divorces her, then the netter is restored. Or Tanan, we learned in the Mishnah later in the Dorim, Rabbi Yochanan Uri Omer, Yofi Shemi Garsheno, Uteasuralo. Here what happens? We have this in Ksubas too. A man is married to a wife, and he's married, and he says, I'm Mayfair, before he divorces, he should be Mayfair all her Dorim. Why? Because what happens now, when he remarries her, said they're in effect, and he can't be made for any longer. So therefore, what should he do? Before he divorces her, just to get me. But if you're telling me now that even when he's Mayfair, regarding his personal relationship, they're restored immediately, and if you shouldn't remarry her, they're in place. So what's Rabbi Yochanan ben Zuri says? Before you divorce them, make sure to knock them all out. It's irrelevant you knock them out.
Right.
The moment you divorce her, they're restored, and when you remarry, you're stuck with the whole kit and caboodle over here. Right? Albert, you with me?
So if he doesn't, even if he knocks them out before he gets divorced, they come back.
That's what we're saying until now. That's what we're saying until now. Because what's the reason why? 2 seconds. Yes. Hello? Okay, let's get back to it. Look, if a woman says she will not remove the pubic hair, so we're saying now that if the husband nullifies it when he's married to her, she's permitted to remove the pubic hair because that interferes with their relationship.
Right.
Now he divorces her. Now, what was the basis why he had a right to nullify that kind of neder? Because it interferes with them. Once it no longer interferes with them, after you divorce her, the neder goes back. If she says, I will not eat grain, I will not eat fruit, that has nothing to do, it interferes with the relationship. That's because she's afflicted.
Right.
So there, when the Torah gives him the ability to nullify it, it's nullified permanently. It's unrelated if he's married to her or divorced. The ability to nullify it, so you have to be the husband.
Mm-hmm.
But the effect is because the way it affects the person. The person being affected is unrelated whether she's a married woman or a single woman. She's afflicted.
Right.
So therefore, we want to say, once he divorces her, the neder is back in effect.
Mm-hmm.
If it's let's say let's remove the pubic hair.
Right.
Okay. Now we're quoting a Mishnah. Mishnah Rabbi Yochanan ben Nuri says if a man chooses to divorce his wife before he divorces her, he should ask her about all her nedarim. He says, I nullify all your nedarim.
Okay.
Why?
Both kinds.
Both kinds. Why? Because in case he remarries her,
Right.
he shouldn't be stuck with the nedarim from before. But we're saying now
So it should be
that,
valid.
so seemingly it's permanent. It knocks it out permanently.
Right.
Because if we're saying it doesn't knock it out permanently, what does he accomplish by nullifying when he's married to her? The moment he divorces, they're in place, and he remarries her. Now she has nedarim.
Right.
But Rabbi Yochanan says no. Make sure to just wipe the slate clean. So when you remarry her, you're remarrying her with a clean slate. It's not a clean slate. Things which relate to their personal relationship, all those nedarim can be restored.
Right.
Right. So evidently, you see clearly, not as we're saying. So if that's the case, we're back to square one. So why does the Mishnah say the husband only nullifies nedarim, avidrein, nefesh?
Right.
All it should say, which is discuss both of them in the Mishnah.
Right.
Right? Not only things which afflict her, even things which interfere with the relationship. It's a permanent nullification.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah. But we're saying it's not.
No, but we're showing from Yochanan ben Nuri it is. It's permanent.
He's saying that
We're proving from there it is permanent. Because otherwise, what's Rabbi Yochanan ben Nuri saying? Make sure to nullify before you divorce her, so you shouldn't be stuck with them in the future. But if they're going to come back, they're going to be restored. So what are you accomplishing by nullifying before you divorce her? No, it's a Tana. It's a Tana. Yeah, you want to deduce from our Mishnah something. You know why the Mishnah only discusses Nidra Union Nefesh? Because that, when you nullify it, it's permanent, even if you divorce her. The others, it's not permanent. But we see from Yochanan ben Nuri, it is permanent. Because Rabbi Yochanan ben Nuri does differentiate what kind of neder it is, whether it's Inui Nefesh or it's something which pertains to their personal relationship. Okay, so let's see the Gemara. So evidently, so even if he divorces her, So you see that it is afor. It's a permanent, right? Amri, Alein V'Alein Havei Aforo. So we're saying no. The truth is, they're both permanent nullifications, right? Whether it's Nidri Inu Nefesh, or it's a regular, it's something which pertains to the relationship. The husband nullifies it, it's gone forever. So why does the Mishnah only discuss Inu Nefesh, only things, areas where she's afflicted? Elo Nidri Inu Nefesh Mefer Beino Bein Latzum Bein Lacheri. Mefer Lacheri. Mefer Latzmo, Latzmo Mefer Lachem Mefer. You hear what he's saying? Meaning, something which pertains to their relationship, it's permanent. Then he has the right to nullify. What about she said something, the same thing, but it pertains to something else? Let's say she will not wash, right? She will not wash, right? She says, when I will be with you, I will never take a bath, right? So that he nullifies, knocks out. What if he says, when I'm on vacation away from you, next 6 months, I will not bathe. See, he's not with her. So but she's going to be for other people, right? So, but that doesn't relate to his personal relationship. He can't nullify it there. You understand? No, Bein Uvin is not Inu Nefesh. Not Inu Nefesh. Inu Nefesh means where you're deprived. Without wash. She doesn't have to wash. Right? No. You see, Rechitza is not even that. Rechitza, washing, has to do with a relation with the husband. Let's see the run. Which Nedarim could he nullify, whether it pertains to himself, to others? It's irrelevant. Nedarim sheyish b'nei nefesh. Let's see the run inside. Okay, let's see the run. We're almost finishing the blot here. Ki begarsh l'chaylim snitzro. V'otanan Rabbi Yochanan. We'll stop. Rabbi Yochanan nuri omi yofir. Mastis nehi b'hai pirko. It's a Mishnah later. Tani reisha koidim sheni osa al picho. A woman says to her husband that all my earnings are off limits to you, right? She has earnings. Okay. She said, makes a net of my earnings are off limits to the husband. Why? Because that she's what? She's indebted. That's the husband's right to her earnings. Yeah. However, even though we normally say konem revokes a lien, they intensify his right. Therefore, he doesn't have to nullify it. The Gemara says, like, let's say you have a lien on my property, and I consecrate the property. What happens to your lien? Your lien is gone, right? A lien, I can't consecrate something that's not mine. What about the land is mine, but somebody has a lien on the land? A lien means you have a right to collect. Yes. Right? But the land is not the lien holders. Correct? Okay. You consecrate it, the consecration revokes the lien. The lien holder no longer has lien on Hegdish. The Gemara says, Konem is Kehegdish. When you say something's off limits with the term Konem, it's saying it's like consecrated. So even though the husband has a right to the earnings, the Konem should really revoke his right. Nevertheless, the Chachomim, because for the sake of a relation with the husband and wife, they intensify his right as if it's his earnings. Therefore, which makes the netter's not effective. We have the Gemara in Ksubis. Right. We have the Gemara in the 5th parak. Okay? So let's see. Rabbi Yochanan Yofir. Rabbi Yochanan says no, it doesn't make a difference. You know why you should wipe it out? She'im lo Yofir. So according to that, husband says let her talk. Let her talk herself blue in the face. It's meaningless. But what happens now? He divorces her. And now she has earnings. Wait, he has earnings. So if she has earnings, so now the earnings, once she's divorced, the netter affects those earnings. As long as they're married, because of his relationship, the netter can't take effect. But let's say he divorces her. Now that original netter takes effect. But what happens if he nullifies it now? So even if he divorces her, the netter doesn't exist to affect the earnings after he divorces her. So when he remarries her, he can benefit from those earnings that she earned outside of the marriage. Rabbi Yochanan ben Nuri. He says, you want to be smart, even though now being married, it's not necessary, but in case you divorce her, since then the neder will take effect, so knock it out now, so it should not take effect later. Yeah, okay. Unless you nullify it now, the neder will take effect after you divorce her. And it's like opening a can of worms. You can't remarry. So what do you see clearly? When he nullifies it at this moment, it knocks it out that even after he divorces it, the net no longer exists. That interferes with the relationship, right? That's Bein la'atzmo mahan yafor delay bein shiruyo la'atzmo bein lacher afil girshav nisis la'acher. Okay? We're saying if it's nidreinu nefesh, right? Bein afilu girshav nisis la'acher. Avol ein be mini nefesh elo dvarim shemin avot la'atzmo hu meifer la'acher meir keim shnis la'acher botlo hafora delay b'chayil nidro. V'ochtev el dorm shu meifer beinu vein atzmo keim to toni meifer stoma hafora ulomis toni. Now he's saying like this. Let's say he said, we're talking about earnings. Let's say now, he says, my earnings are off limits to you and to Chaim, who's not her husband.
Good.
He divorces her, he remarries her.
Good.
If he knocks it out, even if he remarries her, then that is not effect. What about Chaim marries her now? It's an effect. Meaning, the effect of Hafora is only which relates to them. Even if he should divorce her. Even if he divorces and remarries her, the nullification, anything that pertains to him is permanent. But what about to another person? The netter is a netter. Even though he nullified it. You following?
No. The third person.
Let's say a woman said, let's say a woman made a netter. No one's permitted to benefit from my earnings. Wait 1 second. The husband and everybody else. The husband nullifies it.
Good.
Wait a second. Now the husband divorces her. So we're saying, after he divorces her, now he remarries her. When he remarries her, did the netter take effect after he divorced her? Because the answer is no. No, for himself.
No.
It did not, so therefore when he remarries her, he could benefit from earnings.
Right.
What about he chose not to remarry her? She married a third party. She said her earnings are off limits to everybody. His nullification only pertains to himself.
Right.
But let's say anybody else marries her, they cannot benefit from her earnings. But let's say it's inu nefesh, she says, I will not eat grain or produce. That has nothing to do with anybody else.
But the new husband had nullified on the day.
No, it already took effect.
But he didn't know about it.
No, it doesn't. No, that's like a netter before the marriage. A woman makes a netter before the marriage. And he marries it, it's a netter. Finish, it's over.
This thing we had before today, where he said that the day he finds out about it, he can nullify.
No. That's because she made it when he was the husband. If a woman makes a netter before she gets married, the netter is an effect, it's an effect. She has to go before a panel to knock it out. Here it's speaking about she made it, the netter, she was already his wife. He was only unaware of it. When he's aware, he can knock it out. But if it preceded the marriage, then the netter's a netter. We will stop here.
Is that great? Huh? Where's coming back? Come back. You need nothing like